Yes, guys. How's it going? So, quick little video. How'd you like the setup, by the way? New mirror. Got a little post-it note just to remind me of some of the points here. But quick little video. Last one, you saw I was in London. Couple of clients there, couple of customers as well, and all friends as well. But one of my friends, who is a coach and he knows what I do, asked a really good question while I was at the event. And, well, it was basically this. The coaches that do good versus the coaches that don't, what is the biggest difference? And there's three obvious ones that I'm going to say, but then there's three easily overlooked ones. And in this video today, I want to share with you three of the most easily overlooked or the not commonly known things that I see that separates the coaches that do really well to the coaches that don't. This is going to be really helpful for you if you are feeling like you're doing everything that you should. Maybe you're reading the books and you're watching the people and you're doing the things that seems like it should be getting you the results. And you're looking to your left, you're looking to your right, and other people are getting better results than you, and you're wondering why that is. One of these three things might be the thing for you today. So that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video. Three of the commonly overlooked things that I see that separate coaches that do really well and coaches that don't. But first of all, when he said that, so he asked, what is it that you see that separates coaches that do well and coaches that don't? There's three more obvious ones. Number one is the offer, right? Like if a coach has a really good offer that serves a niche really well and it suits them down to the T, and they're articulating that offer well and they're putting it out there and they're getting it in front of people, straight away they're going to do better. That's the first obvious one. This is the common ones, by the way. The overlooked ones are coming up. Number two is that coach actually pushing and staying locked into the game. This is another common one that people need to be doing, but this is an obvious one, right? Like they need to be working hard. I see a lot of coaches that, I'll tell you the truth, sometimes I get people that sign up with me and I don't see why they're not doing as well as they should be, and they don't see it either. And I'm wondering, I wonder what this is. They join and I realize, they just don't do the work. They just don't actually do the work, right? And the work is sometimes it's like putting in the hours and putting in the graft. Sometimes it's staying in the game, staying close to the game to be able to solve problems, right? Sometimes it's not about how many hours we're putting in, but are you just ticking the boxes and then fucking off? Or are you actually staying close to the game, identifying the things that are holding you back and staying close enough and engaged enough to actually solve problems? And the third one is, are they able to think inside the business, right? Are they able to think inside the business? Do they know how to think? Do they know how to look for the constraints in their business and unplug those constraints? Do they know how to look at all of the different things that could be going wrong in the business, and instead of just kind of throwing shit at a wall and just doing loads of random stuff and hoping their business grows, do they know how to identify that constraint? Do they know how to then pull certain levers to unblock that constraint and grow their business? They were the three obvious ones, but that's not what this video is about, because you probably heard me talk about that stuff before. Maybe I'll do a video going into some of those other, like that third one. That could probably be a pretty good video, but they're kind of obvious. You probably heard other people talk about that before. But there are three commonly overlooked things that I see really separate the winners from the losers, and that's what I'm going to get into right now. Number one is having your own way. So many coaches are going to do the same thing, right? And many coaches all do the same thing. Let's say you're a fitness coach and you sell fat loss. Many coaches do the same thing, and the way that they can stand out is simply by trying to make their audience like them more than the other people. That is not very scalable. Now, it's important as well that you're sharing yourself and you're getting people to like you, but we want more than just you to be the reason people sign up, okay? And that comes from your way. So if you're the same as everyone else, you're getting people results the same as everyone else, then guess what? Your prospect can choose either you or the person next to you or the person that you sit next to in your business mastermind or 1,000 other people. That is not a good position to be in. If you're in that position, you have lost all leverage and you are going to be desperate, running around, trying to get anyone to sign up with you. It's not a great position to be in. We would like you to be in a position where your prospects need you more than you need them. How do we get into that position? We get into that position by you being the only person who gets your market the result the way that you do, because you created your own specific and unique way. So that's number one. Have they got their own specific and unique way? This is so they can separate themselves out from the market and, as I said, make their prospects and clients need them more than they need them. But it's also so then we've got something else to actually market, right? Because as soon as you've got your own way, your own methodology, your own framework, your own unique mechanism of how you solve your problem, your prospects' problems, as soon as you've got your own way, your marketing now levels up instantly, because you're not just posting random tips anymore or random things like that. You are actually selling your audience on your ideas. You are selling your audience on your way. And as soon as they're sold on your way, they're now sold on you. Because when you've created your own way, once they're sold on that, they can't go anywhere else but to you. Now you've got authority. Now you've got leverage. Now you can charge what you want. You can open and close when you want. You can work how you would like, because you are in control again. You're not just a commodity. There's not just thousands of you, but you're actually an expert in the field because you've got your own way. So that's number one. If you haven't got that, there's other videos on my YouTube where I go into that, but think about that. How can you actually develop your own way of overcoming a specific problem for a specific niche, so you're the only person that does it, and then actually become a thought leader by developing that way and actually having it be one of the best ways for this specific subsection of people to get the result that you offer? That's number one. Number two is the best coaches that do really, really well. And this is one of the things that, people sometimes do this and they're not even good at the marketing aspect or the business aspect, but they have this thing that I'm about to share and they just do great on its own without anything else. And that is the coaches that I see do really, really well. They fully embody their aspirational identity. Aspirational identity is a term we use inside my program where we talk about who is the person that your prospect can become if they enter your world and they stay close to you for a long enough time. Like, what's the identity that they can embody? When we sell an identity, it's really, really, really powerful. But even if you don't have that, right, this could be said another way. The coaches that do really well are inspirational leaders. They're not just someone on Instagram or wherever you post, posting and writing stuff and hoping people and doing all the call to actions and everything else to try and make someone sign up to them. They're actually an inspirational person. They're actually someone that people want to spend time around because they believe if they spend time around this person, they will be better off. And this is something that a lot of coaches forget about. Like, just being the smartest isn't always the most useful thing, especially to what other people see of you, right? Being an inspirational leader, having accolades, having things that you've achieved that not everyone else has, being able to move forwards and continue to be a leader now and to show your own journey and to show how you're pushing to new heights is one of the most magnetizing things that you can do. And I promise you, I see this all of the time. Coaches that come and they already have that aura of leadership, that aura about them, of someone that people want to be around, that someone that it's clear that if you can, get closer to this person, you will be able to grow. They do well. It's like a cheat code. They do well much, much better. So focusing on yourself and how you want to show up as a leader and your aspirational identity for yourself is one of the most powerful things you can do. The inverse of this I see, and this might ruffle a few feathers, but I see this a lot it's like a fat personal trainer, for example. Why the fuck would you sign up to a fat personal trainer if you're trying to lose weight? Doesn't make sense. But I see this a lot across the board, especially with mindset coaches. There's a lot of mindset coaches that have a mindset qualification. They struggle because they give no one any other reason to sign up with them. They have no accolades. They're not showing any kind of inspirational leadership themselves. They're not driving forwards towards something and showing people how capable they are and how their work on their own mindset has allowed them to achieve things, so then people want to work with them. So on this, ask yourself that, and as you move forwards, ask yourself this: are you showing up as the inspirational leader that you know that you can be, aligned with the people that you're working with? The easiest thing that we always say inside my program is an aligned aspirational identity is the best thing that you can have for your business, which is if you are working towards becoming this aspirational identity that your clients also want to be, but you're just a little bit further ahead and you're going towards becoming this person, you're here and your clients are here going towards becoming you and becoming that person in certain aspects, not in every aspect, of course. That is the most natural business with the least amount of over-engineering and stuff like that, and the most aligned business, because you are becoming who you want and need to be. And your clients are seeing that, being inspired by who you are being, and want to get closer to you to actually be it too. And one of the really useful frames I have for this is, are you being a teacher or a guide? Right? Many coaches just try and get away with just being the teacher. And I've signed up with teachers in the past. What I mean by teacher is I've signed up with people, they're saying in business coaches, who have taught me a thing or two. It's been quite useful, but I didn't stick around that long because I took what I needed and I left because they weren't that inspirational. They didn't shift my identity and change me as a person. They just taught me a tactic and a strategy and took it, and then I left. I've also worked with guides, and I'm talking about this in a business coaching aspect when I've worked with business coaches, but it works with every single niche. I've also worked with guides. These guides were very good at what they did, which was in this case business coaching for me, but they were also very good humans in my perception. They did life well, they just lived a good life, and I liked what I saw about their life in general and everything else. And I saw them not only as someone that was teaching and coaching me around business, but I saw them as a guide. And I stayed in their programs for a very, very long time. And I will always look back on them with gratitude. I send them referrals, and I will always speak about them in a good way, because they were a guide for me at some point and they shifted everything. So with this leadership comes with this ability to be the guide and really impact people on this deeper level. So ask yourself that, are you just scratching the surface right now as this teacher, or are you being the guide? Are you being this leader in your marketing, in how you're showing up online when you're trying to get clients, or are you just typing away on the keyboard, doing the things that you need to do to acquire clients and just kind of being this nerd that only exists behind the laptop? Final bit on this as well. It's very hard to inspire and be this leader if you are being this little nerd behind a laptop. That's where we build our businesses, right? But that's not where we build ourselves. Get out there, set goals, just prove that you are worth following by leading and going to new heights in your personal life, in the areas that you are helping other people with, whatever it may be, and show that you are a human being that's worth getting around to get some of that energy. Final one, number 3. Would I say this one's overlooked? I didn't even need this post-it note. I didn't even need it. It's all up here. Would I say this one's overlooked? To some degree. But sometimes it is, especially as we start to look into strategies and look into, funnels and all this stuff. This is something that can be overlooked, and it's results. I have seen the worst business kind of marketing kind of people do better than the business marketing kind of people because they simply got really good results and they were a great leader, right? When people are getting these two things, they're inspiring and they're getting amazing results with clients. A lot of the other things, can be overlooked. When you add the other things on top of that, they are like on steroids and they'll go crazy. But these two things are super important. So we're talking about this one now, results, right? Just getting amazing results with your clients is one of the best business strategies that you could possibly have. But I'm not going to just stop it there, because then you're like, that third one was a bit anticlimactic. I knew that, obviously. But there's a way that we can go deeper with this, right? And it's two things. Number one is demonstrating the right results. And number two is creating context around your way, which was number one, around your way with the results that you're getting for people. So let's go for number one first, and we'll go to number two, right? So demonstrating your proper results. What do I mean by this? So with fitness and fat loss, it's quite easy, right? You can get a before and after, and you can see the physical changes. But even with that, we can go deeper, right? Because we don't just want to see that. We want to see what is the real change, right? How has this new level of leanness or this physique or this strength or whatever, how has this changed their life? How are they showing up differently? What's actually changed in life? Have they even got a job promotion and things like that? Being able to show the impact that the tangible shift has actually been able to have on their life is huge. But this is really important for people like mindset coaches. Because if you're not careful, or people that are having that deeper experience with people, right? If you're not careful, everything stays super vague so it can apply to everyone. So you might you might post a bit of social proof from a client. And it's like, I'm more confident now and I have clarity and all of these vague words. Guess what that does for someone reading? Absolutely nothing. They have no idea what that really means, right? So to demonstrate properly the results that you're getting, you need to ask these people, when you now got confidence, what did that change in your real life? Like, what was the thing that you did that you look back and realized, I've now got confidence? Oh, well, it's easy. I was in this meeting and blah, 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 and I stood up and I said my thing, blah, blah, blah. It's those real life in context examples that is going to hammer home the results that you're really getting with people. Whether that's from a deeper perspective, from a whatever niche you're in, it's not just the tangible surface level thing that happens. It's once they got that, what was the difference in the shift that happened in their life? And when did that show up? So if they're saying they've got clarity now, don't leave it there. Like, how did you know that you had clarity? What is your day like now versus before? Now that you've got this clarity, how are you operating differently? Because it's that in context vision of what can actually be possible through working with you that's actually going to get the sales. And then the final side to that, remember, there was this one, demonstrating results properly. And the second one was context. Being able to use your results, not just to showcase clients' success, but also to give context to your way. So what do I mean by this? It's really easy to literally just post a result, and you just say, this client's done really good, they've worked really hard, now they're looking like this, or now they're feeling like this, now their life's like this. Cool. That's all right, but we can do this much better. And we do it much better by giving context to your way. So remember what your way is. This was the first point that I made. It is your process, or maybe it is your framework for being able to get this result, or maybe it's your unique mechanisms. I tell my clients to have a handful of big ideas, which are their mechanisms that they use to get the result that they get time and time again. So let's just take the fitness example as an example. Let's say you created a unique mechanism called automatic nutrition. And it is a process you've created so they don't need to track calories, but they can lose fat anyway. Or one of my clients has the no tracking diet, right? When you show these results and you show the barriers that this client has had to overcome, such as they've got 2 kids and they work a busy job, they had no time to track. Talk about how you used your mechanism or your way. So talk about how in one of my clients' examples, she could talk about how she used how her client used the no tracking diet so that she could still lose weight and stay under her calories without ever having to open MyFitnessPal or track calories using the no tracking diet. And when we've got a handful of these big ideas that you've coined, these names that you've created yourself, that you can constantly not only talk about their utility, but show how they've actually helped your clients get the results that you're sharing. Over time, not only do people believe that you can get results and you've got a process for it because you constantly show the process for it, but they believe that your ideas are, essential to getting these results. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not, but they believe that your ideas and your mechanisms and your process is the way that they get this result. Guess what happens then? All the way back to what I said on part 1, or the point number 1. They are now bought into your ideas and your way that they don't want to work with anyone else. You're in that position of leadership and that position of leverage where they have to work with you and you're not just a commodity and they're choosing over a million different things. So to recap on those, number 1, have a unique way so you can have proper marketing, so you can sell people on this, and then eventually once you're posting your results, you can actually add context around that. Number 2 is be inspiring yourself. Like, don't just be a nerd on the back of a computer, posting and building funnels and everything else, but go out and be inspiring. And number 3 is demonstrate your results properly. Be really fucking good, get amazing results, and demonstrate those results properly. That's everything. If you can focus on those 3 things, it will probably really, really help your business. If this helped, drop a comment below, give me a like, give me a subscribe, it would be great. And see you in the next one.